Alafu mnapea mtu kwa nini watu kama kuja kuwa site manager wa construction ama ni mtu asiye kwa wewe.
Yes, sir.
These are things I want you to look at. Tuache hii mchezo bwana. Mimi I don't like this kind of things.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If I were you, I would live here. The report doesn't change the life of this child who lives like this. You're presiding over a school where the principal and his board spends millions. You see these people, your story, the things get delayed and so on. In namna ya rent seeking. Eri ukuche kesho na ukuche kwingine na ukuche ulete 1000. Migrating from analog to digital broadcasting provides us an opportunity to avail more spectrum to enable our, mobile telephony to enable. Alafu mnapea mtu kwa nini watu kama kuja kuwa site manager wa construction ama ni Kenya, tuko na Kenya sawa hata na degree na kutoka university. Sasa wewe bwana umekuwa hapa 2013, kazi yako ni kumanage construction site. Wapi unafanya kazi? Madaraka na huyu. Sasa wewe, let me ask you a question. You cannot get a Kenyan who can manage your site. This is not right. You unaelewa? Yeah. Sawa. These things really annoy me. Let me tell you the truth. These things really annoy me. We cannot no, this is what we must do to sort out our country. I'm telling you, General. He keep me about where is that fellow? Who was here? Where?
Yes, sir.
These are things I want you to look at. Tuache hii mchezo bwana. Mimi I don't like this kind of things.
Yes, sir.
How many Kenyans can work at construction site? Tumepea muhindi kwa family kuja ku manage site. Excuse me. Sitaki kabisa hii. There must be someone inside. This is not from inside.
There is another door. The door is one.
Okay, where's the other one?
The other one is the key. They are very tall.
Let me tell you, my dear. When you look at this ablution block and look at this school, look the bus. They have a bus that could have cost not less than 10 million to buy. And look at the conditions. Hiyo hapana mzuri. Mwalimu. So if they are locked from inside, there must be someone inside.
No, there is somebody who is coming with the key. The one who will do the cleaning.
So which one is open that we can see?
This one.
Would you rather actually have the bus or have a better dormitory? So?
And we are trying to this contest that we have.
Honestly, if this was your personal family matter, would you buy a bus first or make sure your children are sleeping in a better place?
It's about sleeping.
Would you rather buy a comfortable car driving around and your children are living like this?
Even a coat of paint will not cost you much.
And that money that you have spent on that bus actually could build a whole brand new dormitory. And you don't drive around every day. When you need to move students from point A to point B, you can actually hire a bus, or you can talk to a neighboring school, agree with the neighboring school, share a bus, and instead of sinking all that 9 million or so in a bus, use it to build a new infrastructure. Lafu sasa wazazi wanaambiwa leta pesa ya bus na watoto wao wanalala hivi. I'm straining not to shed it here. Look,
yes, we
this
came
is how
here,
our children live.
we came here and
and sasa na sisi tunalipwa na Wakenya kufanya hivi haki ya Mungu mbele ya Mungu. Honestly, look.
Sir, we came here and we wrote a report and it is supposed to be implemented. We told him to convene a BOM meeting and discuss that report because we were also paying the same way. Sir, we came here and...
Okay, let me ask you.
Yes, sir.
You came here,
yeah.
You wrote a report,
yeah.
And you came, then what happened?
We told there's a follow-up and the castle.
The report doesn't change the life of this child.
Yes, sir.
If I were you, I would live here. The report doesn't change the life of this child who lives like this. You're presiding over a school where the principal and his board spends millions to buy a bus. Look at how our children are sleeping. I mean, it's let's go. I'm saying, what? I can't believe it.
So if you check on this one, we are in the process and
no. Let's go to the function. So okay, anyway,
I will improve. This
doesn't need money. Collect rubbish. You have all those boys. They keep their compound clean. Really?
They have been used to doing it, the workers doing it.
No. You put 1,000 boys. They do it themselves.
Sure.
Yeah. They wake up in the morning. We used to do it when we were in school. You do your cleanliness. Yeah? Can't. I'm sure you have those on punishment. They do it. Yeah.
So now, okay, just tell me, how do you issue them? How do you use this?
This is not the letter we use. I only use other
For the
letters.
issuing?
For the issuing is from 3 classes at a book of issuance. Each student has a page is on, and the teacher's handbook that every teacher's page has a page
Okay, let me ask you a question, my brother.
Yes, sir.
How much will it cost you to just bought one computer, one desktop, and you basically just kept all your records electronically? Because if this one gets lost,
Yeah, sure.
that's the end of the story. You're not able
In fact,
you have no problem.
We
You
have
power,
computers. We issue her with one. I wanted her first of all to do the arrangement, then I give her a computer. We have more than 50 computers in the school.
Yeah, but you have 1,000 or so students in the school. Then it means that at night they have to come out. And you know, I want to, Principal Arudi. This is an English class, isn't it? Yes. How many of you are a textbook? English textbook. Raise up your hand. Raise it up. May I have a look at it? Thank you very much. Can see. Fine. The rest we will discuss with Mwalimu how we get you more books. That's how? Yes. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. You see these people, your story, the things get delayed and so on. In namna ya rent seeking. Eri ukuche kesho na ukuche kwingine na ukuche ulete 1,000 ili upewe. Hapana, hawa ni bure.
And the background?
Yeah. Why do you have a bank? You know,
What have you done?
ask yourself, if you are serving 200 people a day, wewe bana. This is your chance hivyo vile unafikiria. If you are serving 200 people, a day, why do you have a backlog in back April last year?
Yes.
Why? Nairobi is here.
No.
You can even call your boss.
Okay, majority of the people have read that.
Why haven't you given them the certificate? That's what I'm asking you. From April, why haven't you given them the birth certificate? You are telling us you serve 200 people.
That's from this year.
You will need to come and sit here one day. Tutafute watu wa kufanya kazi hapa. Hii ni ile mchezo ya kawaida ile mtakwenda mfanye mahali mtaka. You see, this is why, by the way, as I keep saying all the time, heads of department, you will never know anything if you are seated in Nairobi. Huwezi kujua, lazima uje hapa uone sasa hii upumbavu tunaambiwa hapa na huyu mtu ujionee wewe mwenyewe.
Because hapa Narok there has been a lot of crime.
Yeah.
Backlog.
And why? We're asking him how many people you have had yourselves.
Yes, 200.
So why do you have a backlog? Since April.
Here.
Tafuta mtu mmoja, you can get somebody like an DCC or an SCC, one person, to come and manage this place. Yeah, to solve this.
It was a visit that caught many head teachers in Naivasha off balance. Naivasha Secondary School was Education Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i's first point of call. Karibu. The school deputy principal found himself on the receiving end for failing to provide answers about 3.7 million shillings annual allocation. Answers not forthcoming, Matiang'i chose to seek for them in the accounts office.
We are going to receive for that work.
And here, the buzzer was too shaken to provide answers.
I want to know what the 3.7 million ilienda wapi na imefanya nini. That's the report. This is not what I expect. You should be able to give me my report.
The top management team proceeded on a tour of the school to the dormitories, the classrooms, and the kitchen area, as well as the dining hall. Devastated by the glaring failure to observe safety standards.
You have our 3.7 million.
You know what they do? When they are broken like this one, they usually bring it for repair.
Let me ask you, does this class have a teacher? Yes.
Also taking the flak for the situation was the County Director of Education.
Hii sio timu ile mchezo ya sarakasi hivi, tutakufuatilia.
Sasa. Thank you, sir. Your colleagues who are school audit.
Yeah.
We also need to get their account. What have they done?
What have they done about this school?
Yeah.
And across the fence at Naivasha Girls High School, the situation was similar. After a few minutes in a closed-door session, the Cabinet Secretary and his team of 2 Principal Secretaries and TSC officials sought answers of a fee statement of 72,000 shillings, which is 18,000 above the ceiling of 53,554 set for boarding schools.
No, it was approved. We had proposed and approved. It was not approved. That's why after now the minister contested, we revised that one.
Matiang'i ordered the school to refund parents every excess amount paid. 13 years since introduction of the free primary education, the road to quality learning is still bumpy and dusty. So dusty it is for Mirera Primary School, with a pupil population of 2,500. The head teacher found himself in trouble over dirty classrooms.
This is not right.
The CS was surprised that a school receiving 2.7 million shillings every year could be in such shape. The contradiction between schools is clear. However, behind that contradiction are questions of management on how public institutions are run. The bigger tragedy being that the complacency witnessed among the school heads continues in full glare of education officials at both county and national levels.
Lakini hatuwezi kuweka watoto namna hii.
I am also disappointed.
Yeah, the parents, you are disappointed, but you live in this school, you are the principal. How can you tell me you are disappointed now?
Sababu sikujua itakuwa hivyo. Hata mimi nimesikia huko, hata sikutaka uingie huko chini. Kwa sababu niliona kwa habari, nikaona hiyo zolags pale, nikasikia vibaya. I'm very disappointed also, sir. Na nitaita mwalimu tuongee. What's happening?
A tour lasting under 3 hours exposed the state of mismanagement in schools, a testament to the poor showing of public schools in national examinations whose performance dropped by 7 points in the recently released KCPE results. Sami Kituko for Citizen Business Center.
What is happening here, and I will speak about it bluntly, and let me make this revelation to you. The Inspector General, the PS, and myself have been under pressure by some quangles and all manner of thieves that we should import police uniform. Listen to me very carefully. We will not import police uniform. Go and write another 10 headlines. We will not import police uniform from any country. We have to promote the local textile industry. Buy Kenya, build Kenya. How are we going to support our cotton farmers? How are we going to support our manufacturers and create jobs in our country? You know, this monkey business that has been going on for a period of time, we go to some shadowy corners and agree to import police uniform from some places and create excuses that... Isn't it simply outrageous that someone is saying we don't have material in Kenya with the kind of textile sector that we have? So why would the government put budget resources to revive Rivertex and provide jobs in Eldoret? Then we proceed like fools the following day to import police uniforms from Turkey or from China or from wherever. We have already paid. We are making uniform for our police, and take it to the bank from me. We will not import uniform. No amount of pressure, manipulation or anything will change that position. That style of life has come to an end in Kenya. It has come to an end, and no one is going to live that way. Our uniforms... give us 72 hours, you will see a complete change in this whole hapa na tumewaambia watu wa ICT wakuja hapa saa hii. Hakuna mtu anaenda nyumbani. Organize kitu, organize it properly. We let the National Youth Service personnel to assist us here so that the delivery of service is faster. We will work on this all, we will supervise it. I will be here myself tomorrow and I will be here again Monday. Mpaka hii kitu ilioke kabisa, the service is given to people properly. Asante sana.
Today is the first time you have actually seen something because he's coming here. The place is even cleaner than it usually is. Mine is from April. This thing went digital. How is it that from April I don't have a birth certificate?
Our reputation is not going to be messed up because some people don't want to do their work. Tumekubaliana naye, tutadeploy from tomorrow. And you know we did in all places. Hii huko Teleposta na kule kwingine. Wananchi wanateswa na watu. Tunalipa pesa na alafu tunatesa wananchi. No people come, they queue indefinitely, they don't know when they are going to be. Nini inajulikana itafanyika. We can't work like that. Na hii mahali, our brokers have made this a job. Iti wanakuja hapa kuitisha watu pesa ili wasaidiwe. Why should people be being supported? Yeah. Hakuna na hakuna, tumekubaliana. I want to give you data. You tell me yourselves as members of parliament. When I came here before, I told you, on the crackdown on illegal machines, gambling, you are the ones who represent the people of Kenya, the children of Kenya. You know what this nonsense has done to our children in the villages. I have over 26 court orders. Served all over the place. No judge, no magistrate is calm enough to say, go serve PS Kibicho, come before me, so that you argue your case. On crackdown on illicit brews, I don't know how many court orders. I've stopped the count. Served on county commissioners, regional commissioners, chiefs, everybody. You can actually sell poison in this country because all you need is to go to court and get a court order and put it on your door and sell poison in this country. We will have discussions as long as two things are not on the table. As long as one, someone is not telling us to go back to analog because we are not going. Two, as long as we are not now being given lectures about the spectrum resources that are available. Honestly, as a Kenyan, is that in my lifetime, I can sit somewhere in a rural part of this country and enjoy as faster internet as I can get in any city in Europe. There is no reason why we shouldn't, because we are building infrastructure and migrating from analog to digital broadcasting provides us an opportunity to avail more spectrum to enable our, mobile telephony, to enable our broadband footprint to expand in the country. This is why we need to migrate. And surely time is here for us to do it. The uptake by the time we checked last month was about 700,000 STBs had been already, bought. There was about a 1.3 million already in Nairobi alone, and more were coming in. How we affect the cost of STBs is by working with the regulator to allow more players in the market. And the regulators approved over 60, types of STBs, which means there are over 60 vendors in the market. You understand that basically because of competition, the price comes down. And you have seen, I've been looking at the papers every day. I'm every other day, find an advert that is, announcing a lower price than what you saw the previous day and so on, which means the competition is actually yielding. Someone slapped a lady in the presence and within the vicinity of a police station. And police officers were present. In the usual reporting every morning, the regional commissioner central, who's here, told me, and that is a platform that we all share, now as he was reporting to the PS and myself, that that victim had been given a P3 and the people who perpetrated that act were supposed to be taken to court yesterday. The truth is this, and you'll be horrified, and that gives you an indication of why sometimes I feel frustrated. Those guys, they walked into a police station and walked out, spoke to a senior police officer in that police station, and walked out. What had happened between that senior police officer and the minders of those gentlemen, is your guess as good as is my guess? So, these guys, first of all, begin by lying to their regional commissioner. Then they lie to their regional police commander, who in turn lies to the DIG, police service, and lies to the inspector general. And so last night when the PS and I were seized of the matter and we were asking them, what is the fact about this? You discover there was no OB entry, there was no B3 given, there was no report taken, and therefore, even be told that these people are going to court, they're not going to go to court. It's a lie. And so I asked the Inspector General, and he can confirm to you, I hope he confirms to us that that senior police officer has been disciplined or interdicted. And then we follow through, and I also told the DCIO, follow up even the minders of those people, even if they are political leaders or whatever they are, they also should meet the law. We are not going to help this country if we behave in this kind of irresponsible manner. And this has nothing to do with the Inspector General or Mr. Mbowa, the DIG. I keep asking for the men in the room, how many of you will stand your sister or your wife being slapped in that kind of manner? How many of you? I mean, how would you? We are not in these jobs to be popular. We are here to do the right thing, and I will do the right thing. We must sort this thing out. Honorable members, hapa lazima tukubaliane. We have to sort this thing out. So, Golosh, I am sorting it out. That's what we are trying to do. I wish this gentleman was cooperative in the manner in which the facts are clear to him. And as I told you, Mr. Chairman, I will bring the file to you so that you peruse it yourself and see what we are talking about. It is not right that when we are trying to make a genuine effort, we are being called lords of impunity, that we are making the wrong mistakes and so on and so forth. None of these, even our colleagues in the media who are reporting this matter, none of them has gone through the facts that we are putting before them. None of them has asked the very basic questions. Now, I want to see what the Law Society of Kenya is going to do, and the judiciary, now that the officers have actually lied on oath, filed affidavits in court lying. As for the relations between us and the judiciary, I want to say this. The spokesperson for the executive branch of government, by constitution and by practice, is His Excellency the President. I don't have powers to be a spokesperson for the executive branch of government, but I can make this observation. From this experience and the experiences we've had in the past, we are in a unique place, and you, more than any members of parliament, because you are the security committee, need to know this. Our sector is the one that is affected most by some of the decisions that are made when they are not balanced. Why are we so bothered about the checks? The Constitution expects us to uphold checks and balances. Why are we not bothered about the balances? A clique of judicial officers, that's why I would not say, I would be very honest and say, this is not about the judiciary. It is about a clique of judicial officers who have gotten into an unholy relationship with a clique of activist lawyers and oppositionist civil society people, with the intention of humiliating the government, stalling the government, embarrassing the government, and making it impossible for the government to perform. I want to give you data. You tell me yourselves as members of parliament. When I came here before, I told you, on the crackdown on illegal machines, gambling, you are the ones who represent the people of Kenya, the children of Kenya. You know what this nonsense has done to our children in the villages. I have over 26 court orders, served all over the place. No judge, no magistrate is calm enough to say, go serve PS Kibicho, come before me, so that you argue your case. On crackdown on illicit brews, I don't know how many court orders. I've stopped the count. Served on county commissioners, regional commissioners, chiefs, everybody. You can actually sell poison in this country, because all you need is to go to court and get a court order and put it on your door and sell poison in this country. And no one says, go serve the PS, let us listen, let us hear the two of you so that we understand what the truth is. That's what I'm saying. It's a clique of judicial officers. It's not about the judiciary. Our judiciary has got some of the finest people in the country. There's a clique in the judiciary that has been captured by a group of people in civil society and a clique of activist lawyers. And they're riding roughshod. Have you wondered, members of parliament, because you have the burden of leadership, have you wondered, in the last 3 years, one civil society activist in Kenya has obtained nearly 30 court orders, ex parte, 30 court orders, ex parte, from the court. He walks in, he gets an order, comes out. He walks in, he gets an order, comes out. In fact, he could even walk in today and say he wants an order so that all cabinet secretaries commit suicide. You'll get the order. He walks in, gets an order, comes out. What does that say about our judicial system? Last Wednesday, the whole day, the Attorney General spent time begging for one thing, to be heard. If we had been heard by that judicial officer, they would have been told what we are telling you. Mr. Miguna is on the air side. He is not in the custody of Boynet. Boynet cannot produce him because he doesn't have him. The director of immigration would have said, this guy is not held. This would have been said. Then the judicial officer proceeds to make a 36-page ruling. Just ask yourself, a 36-page ruling in 20 minutes, even if you are a paragon, isn't that evidence that there's collusion going on elsewhere and things are being brought to the judicial system to try and stall this? And then he says, when the judicial officer orders that we go to court, he says, let them come, but I will not hear them. What does that mean? Where do you want us? Do you want us for humiliation parade? So that you can drag us by the collar through the street of public opinion. It's not an interest to resolve issues. How can you be condemned and heard? As I told you, this is not a story. Somebody should show me, this is the affidavit of service that shows that you were served a court order. This is what's happening. There is an evil clique of judicial officers working with activist lawyers and elements in the civil society who are determined to make sure that the executive branch does not function. And they will issue order after order after order after order. You cannot move. And you know, look, you are the security committee. If Boynet receives an anticipatory order, you know, you prepare to commit a crime, then you go to court and come up with an anticipatory order. We are hearing it's an invention in Kenya's judicial system, an anticipatory order. So you can't be arrested. So you go, get the order, and arrive here, and go and break into Honorable Mujiri's house. You have an order. You anticipated that you're going to make a mistake. You cannot be arrested. And let me tell you, at a personal level, and this should be on the record, I am in Parliament. I witnessed this when I was in the Ministry of Education. Until Justice Mumbi Ngugi saved us in the education sector, we had about 30-something court orders served left, right, and center. You can't have a school board, you can't have what? On the basis of a letter, honorable members, a letter, a piece of paper that was signed by the late Mutula Kilonzo, given to an individual who purported to represent all parents. And he walked around the country collecting money. He has orders in Machakos, orders in Kakamega, orders wherever, Garissa, nothing moves. So, I don't know what you can do, and I can't prescribe, because you are as much government as we are. We are equal, we are at bar. So I can't direct you, I can't command Parliament, I can't do anything. All I can do as a member of the executive branch is present the reality and inform you as it is. And you, more than anyone else in the security sector, to look into this and see how best this will facilitate or inhibit the management of security in the country. Because if you give an anticipatory order to a criminal, Boynet is not going to arrest the criminal. And if you follow, those anticipatory orders are being given by a certain clique of judicial officers. Not all judges who do them. It's a certain group of judicial officers, and the lawyers who go to them, you can count them, and the civil society activists involved, you can count them. It's a collusion. It's a group of people who collude and do this kind of thing. When you listen, because a judge asked me from the Commonwealth last week, a judge rang me up when this was playing up. He's a friend of mine who knows me. He's a judge from a Commonwealth country. Asked me a question I couldn't answer. Asked me, when Justice Roslyn Abrili received this application that your guy is held at the airport, was the world going to come to an end if she said, serve the director of immigration and come before me tomorrow? Was the world going to come to an end? Because that way, the director of immigration would have explained what was going on. One, we can't arrest this guy. He's on the air side. Two, he's not in our custody, so we can't produce him. Three, receive a report from us. You should see the comments of the Kenya National Human Rights Commission, which have not been heard and have not been received in court. So you have one order issued on top of another order and so on and so forth. And it's like a race within this clique of judicial officers. It's like a race on who can humiliate the executive more, who can embarrass the executive more. The more you can injunct the executive, the more you can stall the executive, the higher the officials you can embarrass, the more heroic you become. That's all I can say on that point. And lastly, the point is this, honorable members. I'm not able to comment on what Honorable Tuchu said because I didn't see the full program. So I didn't understand the full context in which he said what he said. So it would be unfair, and again is the principle of collective responsibility, to comment on a reported matter. I would need to see the whole thing so that I'm able to respond to that issue. And then lastly, the issue of going public. You know, we can't go public on everything we do every day. We try to work as diligently as we can and hope that other people will also not only do their work, but will also be honest enough in the manner in which they conduct themselves. Tell me one thing, honorable members as leaders, why wouldn't you want to hear the government? Why on earth wouldn't you want to hear the government on a weighty matter like this? You make final orders, and when the Attorney General comes before you, you say you don't want to hear the Attorney General. When the Attorney General begs and says the Minister and the Inspector General are at the GSU parade, you say the GSU parade is not that important. When they say they have not been served, you say, I've been on TV the whole morning. I was expected to be watching TV at the GSU parade so that I know what has happened. Thank you.
I want to recognize the presence of and then we have
This is okay. You see now, I go down. But I think we made the point. Yeah, that's it. This question of renouncing, does it mean physically? Does it mean speaking the documents back? Renouncing. You will respond to that. Renouncing. Yes.
I want the seals that they bring. Passport holders, you look the state government at the hosting, you tie down the government, not the government, and they are not good for the country. They really want to back. So I think we have to sit down and see how we can get it. You show them and patriotism, you can make it.
Yeah.
Not for the country, they are for the
Chair, through the Cabinet Secretary, if you can recall, before the August 2010 new constitution, the government of Kenya only did not allow dual, which means you could not hold citizenship of two nationalities. It was therefore deemed that anybody who had acquired citizenship of another country at that time when dual was not allowed, it does not mean that he lost his birthright. But at that stage, he was deemed to have actually gained the citizenship of the other country but lost the other one. But there was also a provision, a rider onto it, that you can regain it. And that's why the Cabinet Secretary has clearly said that even those people who are overseas today, regaining is even online. You do the regaining by applying the relevant forms, you send them to the Department of Immigration, and that is now compiled and forwarded for the CS to now endorse. And then once you regain, you'll go back to now get your ID. So ideally, the ID Miguna has today is actually an invalid document. He will, even when he regains the citizenship, he will have to go to NRB to now get his ID, and then he can now process the passport. That is as simple as that. So that process is communicated, and many Kenyans are really doing it. And then there is also repercussion. When you are a dual citizenship, there are also certain jobs you can actually get in the government, and there are certain jobs you cannot. That's why it is important. Even after the 2010 constitution, when you are a dual, you are supposed to declare so that the government will know where to engage you. I mean, you may probably not be engaged in security because you are a person who is two-legged. So we cannot really entrust you with a number of things. So there is also a rider to that when you become a dual citizen. So I think that is the only way I can explain it, Chair.
Yeah, thank you very much. The way I'm landing conclusion is that even amongst leaders and in different government offices, there's a lot of negligence and also ignorance, because even if he was allowed to stand as a governor of Nairobi, what really could have happened really? You know, there's a lot of negligence. Yeah, issuing documents which are not supposed to be issued. Yes. Allowing people to be doing things which are not.
Let me tell you, my friends, after the COVID-19 pandemic, for us in Kenya, the pandemic now we are dealing with is the pandemic of lies and foul language. You know, politicians, do you agree with me? Yeah, a pandemic of lies and foul language. No, political leaders who are just wake up in the morning to lie. They are driving around the country lying. Some of them, you get very embarrassed. They actually say things they don't know because they don't engage with public policy. They never spend time understanding public policy. They never have conversations with the sensible people. Those they keep lying. All over they go, they just lie to wananchi. Yeah, they want to say things they think wananchi would like to hear, and not face the truth and the reality of our situation and plan on it. Then they plant the moon. They just bandy figures around, you know. Or they look at you and say, you, I will give you 100 billion. Then they meet the next group down there, you, I'll give you 150 billion. Then they meet another one and they say, you, actually, you look very nice, I'll give you 200 billion. And the other way and so on. No plan, nothing. Kwa kusumbua wananchi na kuua watoto wetu hapa vile wamefanya wiki iliyopita. Wametuitia kazi sisi wote na sasa tumekuja hiyo kazi. Tunataka kukutana nao, tujuane nao na watatujua vile tunafanya kazi. Tumewaeleza maafisa wa usalama wote hapa. Tumepewa vifaa vya kutosha. We have been given enough resources by the president and this government to protect these people. Kazi yetu ni kulinda hawa wananchi. I am not going to sleep na hatuwezi kulala. The new commander we have brought here wa polisi, wewe kazi yako si kulala mpaka we get the last person kwa hiyo group apatikane tumupate. Yeah. We are going to engage these people and we will deploy unprecedented fire and force kwa hao watu. Na mtu asije kunilecture mimi hapa kuniambia mambo ya human rights. Walikuwa wapi wakati wanaua watoto wetu? Yeah. Where were they when they were killing our children here? How do you feel? Nimekaa hapo kwa hiyo nyumba, I have sat there with pastor feeling pain. You are following a young girl, an innocent young girl kwa nyumba yake kumuua na hakuna haja ya kufanya maneno kama hayo. Hatuwezi, we will not surrender any part of our lives to thugs. Whoever is supporting them. Na mimi nataka kuwaeleza hata wale viongozi wale wengine, wale ambao wanawaficha, wale ambao wanawapea pesa, wale ambao wanaishi nao, wale ambao wanawajua. We will not distinguish between those who harbor them, those who finance them, and those who are their friends. We will treat them as criminals also. Na tutaenda nao. Kwa hivyo tukubaliane wananchi. My duty and responsibility na sisi kazi yetu kama serikali ni kwenu nyinyi wananchi. Mimi I have no responsibility to criminals. So it doesn't matter how I deal with them. I have no responsibility to them. Kazi ni kuhakikisha kwamba hawa watu wameshughulikiwa na tutawashughulikia ili hawa wananchi wakae kwa amani. Na machifu wale wako hapa na assistant chiefs. Kama kuna mtu kwa location yako na ambao wanauza nyinyi mumeketi hiyo msimame nyinyi grupu yenu hiyo. Wakati wananchi wanateseka namna hii na hawa watu wengine wanarandaranda pande hii, wengine mnawajua mahali wanapita. County commissioner na regional commissioner tutaanza screening mpya ya hawa ili tujue who passes master ni nani anafanya kazi. Yeah. Yule ambaye anastahili kufanya kazi apaki kwa kazi. Yule ambaye ni bure atoe uniform. Ama namna gani? Yeah.
Tumepanga.
Now the new pandemic we are dealing with is the pandemic of lies.
Na kwa sababu unajua Mungu naye anatusaidia.
God is for all of us. You can't have God yourself.
Mimi niliketi chini na kufanyia interview huyu Matiang'i.
I am here to answer questions.
Shida tu kidogo amepata, ni kiburi kidogo imeongezeka, na madharau.
No, you are president. Keep quiet.
Wewe relax, William Ruto. Relax. Tutakushughulikia.
Hii ni mambo madogo. Haya ni mambo madogo sana.
This is the pandemic of lies.
Hiyo ni mambo mzuri. What is the problem? Sio ni sawa.
This is the petty. It's empty. There's nothing. It's hollow. People are just loitering around saying things that don't exist.
Kiingereza mingi utapeli. Kwa hivyo hiyo madharau yenu hiyo na kiburi muko naye, hiyo ni yenu. Wacha kupiga kifua. Wacha kiburi. Wacha madharau.
You asked me, so I'm just responding to your question.
Wanatupigia sisi kelele. Hata mwingine akisimama hapo Nyamira aombe kiti ya kettle dip ya mzee ametaa hawezi pewa.
Tusamene tu. Mimi naambianga nyinyi hata Mungu hawezi rudi mapema kwa sababu wakora ni wengi kwa hii dunia.
Walikuonesha madharau, endelea
Kuwa na heshima kidogo. Heshima kidogo.
Tusonge na kasongo. Hii William Ruto alitudanganya, haki ya Mungu.
Najua mtihani ni 2027. Na hiyo mtihani ya 2027 sipangi kuanguka hiyo mtihani.
Plan A ni kutoa wewe.
Nitapita hiyo mtihani.
Rais, wewe.
Wale wanaongea mambo mingi wajitayarishe kwa hii mtihani.
Lakini mpango ile tumepewa na Wakenya, kwanza the most urgent ni kutoa wewe.
Start thinking big. Wasiongee tu hivi, they must have a plan. And that plan must be better than mine.
Politics is a game of mathematics. Period. Na hesabu ya siasa is addition, not subtraction.
Lakini kama ni kuongea tu hii kelele, watazama asubuhi na mapema.
Tumepeleka, tuko na evidence iko hapa, hata kwa hii karatasi. Sasa tutafanya aje?